Pleasure to serve on the committee. As I said at the session meeting, I think Harold asked me to do the presentation on these survey results because I think he knew that I really didn't read the survey results with a great deal of diligence because I wasn't around when you all filled out the survey. I didn't know what the implications of the results were because I didn't know the congregation all that well. So now that I've really been thoroughly put in this process with both feet, I think I have a much better idea of what the results mean. So what I'm going to do is go through the methodology of the survey and talk to you a little about what was done in the survey. We're going to talk about the uses of the survey results. And I'll give you the results overview, and we'll have some time for questions and answers. Basically, the survey results came in a bound report that had multiple pages like this. If anybody would like to see the full results, by all means ask Susan or Rob, and you can get a copy of it. But for those of you who are not data drones and want to look through something like this, be contented to know that there are some data drones here, and they will look through the results and be able to interpret what it all means for you. Would anybody like to see this now? No data drones here? Nobody's going to admit it at this point. Okay, the survey was conducted here at Wallingford Presbyterian Church on one Sunday in October 2008. The people who responded to the survey here in our congregation were people who were at... Oh, great. Okay, go for it. The respondents were 133 people who were in attendance at either the 9:30 or 11 o'clock service on a particular Sunday in October. So if you weren't here that Sunday, you did not have a make-up opportunity to complete the survey. Now keep in mind that there were 133 who responded. There might have been more in attendance at church that Sunday. Some may have elected not to respond to the survey. There were 60 questions on the survey, and I also have a copy of the survey if anybody would like to see that, or you can get a copy from the church office. 133 respondents represent about 25% of the members. Ron said there were 510 members in our congregation last year, so it's about a 25% response rate. The Presbyterian Church of the USA in Kentucky conducted the survey. It's a standardized survey that is given to all kinds of congregations across the United States. They've been doing this similar research with a similar instrument over 8 years and have 300,000 responses over the 8 years. So that's a huge database of responses. There are 2,000 Christian congregations who have participated in the survey. It's a voluntary survey on the part of the congregation, and obviously voluntary on the part of the people who answer the 60 questions. The first survey was done in 2001, so the responses for our congregation from October 2008 were compared to all congregation responses from 2001. So there was a time lag there of about 7 years. There are many additional resources that are available from the Presbyterian Church USA that can be helpful for a congregation to understand the results of the survey, how to use the results and apply it to your planning process. So why is a survey like this important? It provides us at least the best available data on what our congregational strengths are. It's a snapshot at a particular point in time. It doesn't mean that we're static over time, but it is at a particular point in time, and it is a picture that's presented by the 133 people who responded to the survey. It allows us to be compared with other congregations of similar size, and that is 150 to 300 worshipers in attendance. Gives us the opportunity to look at our numbers in comparison to other Presbyterian churches and our numbers in relation to all congregations. So it provides us some benchmarks, and there are a lot of suggestions about what the best practices are at congregations that score high on some of the strengths and measures. It also provides us with some understanding of some connections between different strengths that were measured in the survey. Bottom line is the survey was well done, it's reliable, it provides valuable information on relationships, and it provides a lot of suggestions for discussion in small groups or in the councils and for use to develop an action plan. So this is just a recap of what I said about what the comparisons are. Comparison of our church from October '08 with all churches from spring of '01. Similar sized congregations, all Presbyterian congregations, and all congregations without regard for denomination. This is one of the quotes in the booklet about the survey responses, and I thought there were just a couple of quotes that I think are very interesting for us to focus on as we look at the results. Doing what is best does not require great strength, but great strength is required to choose the best path. And our committee really struggled with a lot of the things that we were uncovering and learning during our research, and we really tried to identify what the best path is going to be going forward. Another quote from the survey responses summary is, "Congregational life is not simple. Our research demonstrates that all congregations have strengths. Further, congregations require multiple strengths to be effective. A congregation that excels in serving the community but lacks any other strength is little more than a social service agency. A congregation that excels in providing a service of belonging where people care for one another but lacks other strengths is little more than a social club. A congregation that excels in caring for their children but lacks any other strength is little more than a daycare center. Congregations must focus on multiple strengths to do all that is required of people of faith. Any attempt to advise congregations without taking into account the complexity of their essence is ill-advised." So what I want you to focus on is the interrelationship of some of these strengths, what our strengths are that we're identifying at this point, and we figure out what we can take into consideration as we plan our actions going forward. So the limitations of the survey, the standing data collection needs to be understood. Are 133 respondents representative, and is that sufficient? Is a 25% sample adequate? The 25% that were in attendance and completed the survey, is that an adequate representation? You may say yes, you may say no. There are probably some limitations, but it's the best data that we can go on at this point.